Started on a Wednesday. That matters because she never called me on Wednesdays. That was the one day her schedule was chaotic. Morning meetings, lunch with clients, gym at night. But that day my phone buzzed around 10:15 a.m. Her name on the screen. "Hey," she said, voice light, almost rehearsed. "I'm going away for a couple of days. Can you stop by and water my plants?" I paused, slightly off guard at how casual she sounded. We weren't together anymore, not officially. It had been a slow drift apart, more limping withdrawal than a clean break. Even so, she'd never asked me for anything like this before. I asked where she was going. "Oh, just a quick trip," she said, laughing softly. "Don't snoop too much while you're there." I said I wouldn't. Meant it. I wasn't digging for trouble anymore. Her apartment still had pieces of me. Couple of mugs left behind. The blanket from our first Christmas folded on the couch. Some of my books stacked on the nightstand. I didn't think much of it until I stepped inside and noticed how still it felt. The blinds were half drawn, light catching the dust in the air. Her plants were by the window, lined up neatly. Succulents, a fiddle-leaf fig, a vine I could never name. I filled the watering can and went through the motions. Then, setting the can down, I heard it. A soft shuffle, easy to miss if you weren't expecting it. "Hello," called. Silence. Just the hum of the fridge. I told myself it was probably the building settling, or a neighbor's noise. I moved to the kitchen to rinse the can. That's when I saw him. He didn't look surprised. That's what stuck with me most. Shirtless, glass of water in hand. Calm, familiar. His eyes scanned me, not hostile but not friendly either. "Oh," he said. "You must be." He smirked, took a sip. The room seemed smaller. I didn't ask who he was. I didn't need to. His ease told me everything. He belonged here. I no longer did. I put the watering can in the sink, dried my hands on the towel by the oven. My chest tightened, but I wasn't angry. Not explosive anger, slow, sinking anger. "I'll just finish and leave," I said softly. He shrugged, indifferent. Leaning against the counter, he watched as I gathered my things. The door, I paused. Then it hit me. Her parents were coming back that afternoon. They had a key, though the lock stuck sometimes. She'd mentioned it weeks ago. Without thinking much, I left the door unlocked. Not wide open, just enough so it wouldn't catch. Then I walked away. Her parents called that evening. Not her. Her mother's voice first. We walked into something when we got home today. She wasn't angry, more like stunned. A man was here. I pictured her, pinching her nose, choosing words carefully. He didn't look surprised to see them either, almost like he expected it. She said he was a friend. Her mother's tone hopeful. "A friend?" "No," I said. Silence. Then her father, gruff, direct. "We don't know what's going on between you two, but you might want to talk to her." I thanked them and hung up. Her parents had always genuinely liked me. Not polite tolerance, real fondness. I'd fixed their porch railing one summer, helped her dad move tools. So hearing it from them stung deeper. 2 hours later my phone rang. Name. I let it go. Rang again. On the fourth I answered. "What the hell?" she said, skipping hello. Voices in the background. His voice low, hers shushing him. "You left the door open," she accused. "Did I?" I asked calmly. "My parents came in." She cut off. "You knew they were coming." "Yeah." Long silence. Then, "You're petty, you know that?" I almost laughed. Petty would have told them everything about him. Moved her plants to the hallway to die. This wasn't petty. I let things happen. She hung up. For a week no word from her. But through the grapevine I heard her parents visited, saw him again, noticed his late-night car. The polished image she kept for them was cracking. I hadn't set out to ruin her. I just stopped protecting her. People don't tell you how much dignity you hold in someone else's hands when you love them. How many little cover-ups you perform unconsciously. Take that away, and truth rushes in like cold air. By week 2 her father called again. No pauses. "I don't know what she's doing," he said. But it's not right. I agreed. No lie this time. 3 weeks later she came to my place. Sunday afternoon. Quiet except for the kettle. She stood at the door, sunglasses on, hand on hip, like practicing the pose all drive over. Can we talk? I stepped aside. She walked in slowly, scanning the apartment for signs of life without her. You embarrassed me, she said sharply, quieter than I expected. I poured tea, slid one mug toward her. I didn't say a word, I said. Sunglasses off. She looked tired. Not glamorous tired, but deep in your bones kind. You left the door open. I did. She shook her head, humorless laugh. And you knew what would happen. I met her eyes. That's it. Jaw tightened. You don't understand. Now they think you're human. I let that land. She blinked hard. You always make it sound like you're not hurting me when you are. I leaned on the counter. And you always pretend truth is cruelty. Silence, tick of the clock. Not what you think, she whispered. Waited. He's just someone I've been seeing, after us. She stopped at my face. I'm not asking for a timeline, I said. I'm done being the guy who waters your plants while you're elsewhere with someone else. She flinched, maybe at the word done or at my calm. You could have yelled, made a scene. But I didn't. I left the door open. That was enough. After that, it unfolded on its own. Her parents asked questions she couldn't answer. Friends saw pieces of the mess. Whatever she had with him, it couldn't survive that light. She finished her tea silently, left, hand on the knob, turned once. You were always better at endings than I was. Afterward I stood listening to the door echo. No triumph, no anger. It was free. Some think closure comes from answers. For me, it came from doing nothing but letting the truth be seen. No speeches, no revenge. Just a door left open. And those plants by the window. They'd survive just fine without me.